Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we're taking a look at the Ultra Street Fighter 2 Vega, or M.Bison for those in America, from Storm Collectibles. I got this guy directly from Storm H.K, so I didn't get any kind of tracking information or nothing. He just kind of appeared on the doorstep today. At the front of the box, you see the figure, you see the artwork here of Ultra Street Fighter 2 Bison. On the side of the box, you see another piece of artwork for Bison. On the back, you see all of his accessories that he comes with, the face sculpts, the Psycho Crusher effects, and everything. And then you see, who made it and Storm Collectibles down at the bottom. But let's get this guy cracked open and take a closer look. And here's M.Bison out of the packaging. Taking a closer look at him. On the camera, he looks more like orangish red, but in person, he does have a pretty nice red color. I do think it's still leaning a little bit closer to like the orange pigment, like maybe it should be a darker red, but it's fine. I like it in hand. It's all matte finish. He's got the nice blue here. He's got the Shadowloo symbol on his belt. Well, I guess at least a lightning bolt from it. He's got the nice airbrushing on his gauntlets. You can see the hands can come off. And then his hat there is nicely shaded on the top. I really like this figure a lot, especially all the shading they did on it. Coming down here to the legs, you can see there's shading on his shin pads. They're not weathered or anything like that, so it's not like he's been using them. Then the boots are just a matte gray color, and it's nicely painted across the back. Then looking at the back, the musculature is nice. Got the seams in the suit. And that is M.Bison. I think he looks really good. One quick thing is that I know they're making a Street Fighter movie, and I still don't understand why M.Bison never looks this jacked on screen. He's always played by like a scrawny guy. No offense to Raul Julia. I thought he was pretty funny as M.Bison, pretty good. But yeah, I would like to have an M.Bison that looks like this on screen one day. But moving into his articulation, looking up, he can look up a lot, which is necessary because, he's got to do a Psycho Crusher. Looking down, he looks down about that much, which isn't a ton, but he is taller than most things in my collection, so looking down is necessary. Having side-to-side movement, it's not a ton. You can get him to look either way, though. And his head is on a double ball peg, and then there's that soft piece right here where the neck is connected, so it's kind of moving around as you lift his head around. For the shoulder pads, he's kind of stiff, so I'm trying to be very careful. It's very squeaky. But he can lift his arms up. And there goes his hand again. But he can lift his arms up all the way. He does have... And the gauntlet goes now. So there you go. You can get a sneak peek at some of the features of this figure. But he does have butterfly joints. They look nice. The shoulder pads do help to kind of cover it up in the back. But you can get his hands in front of him like that. And then, of course, you can push them up so he can do this. He does have double jointed elbows. As you can see, the wrist is just a normal hinge with this like pressure fit peg on the end, which isn't very secure. But it's only because the gauntlet is literally kissing up against his hand. So there's really no room for it to like securely sit. This is a very soft piece too, so don't worry about that. But because it's so close, like when you put it on, it's not really a secure fit. So do keep that in mind. I think I mentioned he does have a bicep swivel. For the torso, you can get him leaning back. Not a ton, but he does go back at least that much. And then forcing him to crunch forward about that much, which is pretty good. And there's not a lot of gapping back there. No gap at all, actually. There is, if I zoom in here, you can kind of see there's some paint that's starting to come off or something. I have no clue what that is. Maybe I can just get it off or it'll come off eventually, but it's like blue paint. And the nice thing is that this piece right here is sculpted all the way up through the torso, so you don't have to worry about that cutting off because you're leaning him back. The skirt piece is soft, but it's not going to be soft enough where you can get a full split. And there's no split in the side here, so do be aware of that. He does have thigh swivel, kicking forward. You can basically get enough for him to do his like little scissor kick thing. He does have double jointed knees, which, I mean, they're not the worst knees, so that's good. There is shading in the knee joint, which is nice. And then you'll have the darker color down here. I feel like this color should be this painted silver piece because, I mean, it's his shin, so I would assume that this part still guards his shin, but I digress. Down here for the foot, squeaky, but his foot does go down about that much. Comes up about that much. And then you can wiggle it around for an ankle rocker, which is nice. And he does have a toe joint that kind of gets stopped by this piece on the top of his foot. But yeah, this Bison has a lot of nice articulation. I mean, I expect as much from Storm Collectibles. So let's move into his accessories. And I'm going to go grab his hand and his other gauntlet. Alright, so his hand got eaten by the carpet monster, but that's fine. I'll find it after the review. Good thing is he comes with a ton of other hands. So first he comes with the thumbs up, pointing hand, thumbs down hand. You can use it for whatever you want. He does come with a pair of splayed out action posing hands. All of them are really nicely sculpted and shaded. He has a really clawy gripping hand. He has a pair of like neutral, like relaxing hands. And the claw grip hands are a pair as well. Here's the other one. He's got another pair of, they seem like grasping, like choking someone out kind of hands. Or I guess you could use them for whatever, holding a drink. He's got another kind of clenchy hand. He's got a pair of karate chop hands. And these are all soft plastic, by the way. And he's got a bigger, like, open palm, grippy, grabbing hand. And then he does come with a pair of crossed arms. So these do separate, as the one just, like, immediately flew away as soon as I picked it up. But they're crossed arms. You detach them from the shoulder, and then you put this on, and then you can separate this and put them back together. This is sculpted underneath, which is nice. You can kind of see his hand there. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And then he does come with his cape, which looks really, really nice. All you have to do is remove the butterfly joints on the shoulder pads, and then you replace the shoulder pads with this cape, and then it is wired. Looks like it's wired, let's see. It's wired all the way through, so you have all of this cape is wired, which is nice. Very nice material as well. He does come with more hands, which is really nice. So he does come with a pair of splayed out action hands that are like this really soft, clear green material for the Psycho Power effect. He does have a pair of like clenchy hands that are green. He does have a pair of green fists. And just to show you what it looks like on him, just plug that in there, and then that's the green right there. I know some reviews that I saw earlier was like, it sucks you can see the peg through it, but honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of fine with it. It does look weird in person. On camera, it's like kind of hard to tell with like the right lighting. But I think it's fine. I guess you can just, you know, finagle it or Photoshop it out, but I think it looks fine. And then he does come with an effect part here, which you can actually just put his fist in. So just line his fist up, and hopefully it doesn't get stuck in there, but there you go. So you can have him punching, and that's what that looks like. I always like that Storm Collectibles just molds it to the actual fist, so it's not some like weird separate attachment. I wouldn't mind if it was just a peg you attached on there either, but you know, minimizes breakage when it's like that. And then you have this one, which you can put on his fist, which is like, you know, he's swiping and you can see the effect of the Psycho Power, which is really cool. Beyond that, he does come with 3 different head sculpts. So the first one is his smiling face. Very nice. The white eyes are nice there. Teeth nicely painted. Looks like M.Bison. Again, has that same shading. And then you do get his angry, unhappy, all of his minions suck type face. Very nice. I like this one. I kind of wish we got a face that mimicked the front of the box art, but that's okay. They're not going for that with any other figure. And then you have his beat up and bloody face, which looks really, really cool. As a kid playing this game, I thought it was super creepy that his beat up face is like this. I'm like, why are you crying blood? But I did notice that it came from, you know, up here on his head. His hat is broken. It still has a nice shading on it, but yeah, this is cool. And those are all of his accessories. I don't really have any thoughts on what else I would have given him. Again, I mean, besides that other faceplate, which I thought would be cool to have like the eerie lighting, but you could probably just make that an event exclusive and make the whole figure with that translucent or like weird eerie effect. But let's move on to some size comparisons. So for our first size comparison, here is the Storm Collectibles M.Bison standing next to the Jada Toys Vega and the Jada Toys M.Bison. I mean, like, this guy blows this guy out of the water. I'm sorry, Jada Toys, you were doing so well. And then Storm Collectibles came with their M.Bison. This guy, I mean, he looks good. The faces are great. And he has awesome, you know, articulation. But, man, like, these guys are like night and day. Like, this is the one you just give to your kid to play with. And then this is the one you put on your shelf and you play with as an adult. But they did hit all the same notes. So he has all the same glossy pieces, or shiny pieces, sorry, for like his armor. The same patterns are there, especially with like the lines and the suit, which I honestly never noticed playing the game back in the day, but or like back in the day artwork. The reds are different on these, so I guess it depends if you like this deeper red versus this one. But the boots and everything are the same too, but yeah, he is way taller. And I think this guy scales a lot nicer with the Jada Toys Shadowloo. So definitely looking forward to seeing what Storm Arena does with Vega, or if they just make a Storm Collectibles Vega eventually. But for now, this is going to be my definitive Bison for my Storm Arena StreetFighter display. This guy will just be in the background. And then here's M.Bison standing next to a Storm Arena Ken, who is the same size as Ryu, so I won't bring out Ryu, and a SH Full Power Super Saiyan Son Goku. Again, you can see here, he's a big guy, so he's going to be taller than Ken. He's taller than Goku, and I think that this scaling is perfect. Like, this is nice. This is the size I want for all those Brolys people are making, but instead they make him way larger than him. But yeah, I was afraid this Storm Bison was going to be ginormous, and luckily he's not. He fits in really nicely with the Storm Arena stuff, and even imports like SH Figuarts. And just because I wanted to show off another Jada Toys comparison, here he is standing next to Cammy, which we know we're getting the Killer Bee look from Jada Toys and Storm Collectibles. And then here he is standing next to the Nacelles, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Marshall Moo Montana, who's a bigger figure. I just wanted to see how they look standing together. But yeah, again, he's still taller than even this guy here. And then last but not least, for you Marvel vs. Capcom enjoyers, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Iron Man and a Marvel Legends Animated Series Spider-Man, who decides to not stand today. But yeah, you can definitely put this guy with your Marvel display. I think he'll look wonderful in photos with these guys. So definitely take a lot of pictures with Bison versus any of your Marvel characters, mixed in with your Jada, mixed in with your Storm Arena. So for my final thoughts, I love this guy. I'm super glad I pre-ordered him. I was on the fence initially when I bought him. I'm like, man, what if he's ginormous? What if he doesn't fit in with all the rest of my Street Fighter collection? I don't normally gravitate towards buying M.Bison related anything, but I do like him as a character a lot. I guess I was just waiting for the perfect figure so I can just be a one and done. And this guy is going to be it. I don't even think if they made him in Storm Arena that it would be better than this. I mean, he comes with so many accessories. The cape is nice. His scale is nice. Like, if Storm Arena is this size, nobody's going to buy that. So maybe I'm thinking that they're just going to make this guy, and this is the guy you're going to have to mix in with your Storm Arena line. At least that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy a Storm Arena M.Bison unless he's got some crazy extra accessories. And you can probably even use some of the accessories from the Jada Toys M.Bison event exclusive version for this guy. So you could probably use some of the, you know, the Psycho Crusher effects and see if that works out. But yeah, I like this guy a lot. I think he is perfectly made and definitely worth the amount of money I paid for him. Just to note, I did not get any tariff fees on this guy, so I just kind of paid whatever he cost on Storm Arena H.K, and then they just shipped him to me. I didn't get any extra fees or nothing, so fingers crossed it doesn't come like months later. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you plan on getting this guy? Do you have him on pre-order? Is this your definitive M.Bison for your collection? But other than that, thank you guys as always for watching. Take care and have a great rest of your day.